Welcome to Scott Holtzman, Hot Sauce, back to the program. Getting ready to fight UFC 195, January 2nd. Drew Dober. This one's in Las Vegas. It's a New Year's Eve card, but it's not New Year's Eve. Obviously, they always do it after New Year's. It's UFC's way. Usually, it's a great fight. It's a great card. It's tough though because UFC's had so many great cards. You're a fan of the sport. Have you been watching some of these cards and going, man, I wish my fight was on that card?
Yeah, it's kind of tough. I think UFC 194, the whole weekend there, 3 fights in 3 nights. It's hard, as the fan. I was thinking maybe they'd be a little burnt out on it. That was a big weekend.
Yeah.
So, I'm hoping, I think it'll still draw well. I think, Robbie Lawler and Condit, they'll still be good, but who knows if people will still be hungover from UFC 194.
I wonder how attendance is going to be in the arena. I'm actually going to go. I'll be back from Hawaii for a week, see my kids and hang out with my friends in Vegas, and then, of course, go to the fights on the 2nd. So I'll be there live for yours. And I'm wondering how attendance is going to be because, to me, it seems like it's New Year's Eve, there's New Year's Day, and then the day after New Year's Day, like, do I really want to get up and get dressed and make a trip to Vegas? Or if I'm still in Vegas, am I really going to be recovered enough from the weekend or from the early, late in the week to get up and go to the fights? But I know that at home, it's going to be huge. It's going to be, it's going to be one of the higher pay-per-view numbers. Does it matter to you if the arena's full or empty? Is it something that bothers you going in there and sometimes seeing a couple seats empty?
No, not at all, man. I don't really, with the walkout or whatever, the lights are in your eyes. I look around, I take it all in, but I've fought in empty arenas and I fought with some decent crowds. Obviously nothing like a big UFC crowd, but it doesn't bother me either anyway, man. When that door shuts, I get locked in. I don't see or hear anything, going on around me, so it won't bother me one bit.
This will be your second fight in the UFC inside that octagon, and of course, the first time you're worrying about octagon jitters. Everyone has them. Everyone gets them. At the time, you were 6-0. Now you were 7-0. Now you're 8-0. But obviously, you didn't seem to show it. You got a submission late in the 3rd round, rear naked choke, so it seemed to go well. But we weren't inside your head when you were fighting. Was there a little bit of like, holy crap, like I'm here, like there's Lorenzo. There's Frank, there's Dana, there's Joe Silva. They're watching like I'm actually here. Like, was there any of that going on when you're getting ready to go for that first strike?
I don't think so, man.
Liar! Fucking liar! No.
Yeah, a little bit, but I think it's more so, those guys are there, they're watching, so you really want to put on a show for them, you know what I mean? You don't want to let him down. You want to be the guy that they remember after the show and say, "Damn, that kid can fight." You know what I mean? Let's move him up. Let's get behind him. So I don't think so. And you got to think too. I'm staring down the barrel of Benson Henderson and Joe Riggs and a handful of other UFC guys every day. So and I've been there before too. So
yeah.
I was confident in my preparation, and I think, that helps with the nerves a little bit.
I was actually going to get to the lab as part of my next question is, did it help you getting through those nerves by having Joe Riggs and Benson Henderson slapping around? Now, Lieberger's in the room, and like your room just seems like every week there's another couple of guys or girls that are in the UFC. And it seems like the lab doesn't have a problem with too much of winning and losing. Like if someone goes in and loses in the octagon, it doesn't seem to bother the team as much. Everyone rallies around him and kind of is there for support, but it doesn't really seem to like change the mood. Where sometimes with some other camps, if one name loses, it's kind of a domino effect for the rest of the names that lose in the same camp. Do you feel the same way when you go into practice? Do you feel like that when you're in there? Like it doesn't matter wins or losses, but it's just the preparation that really counts at the end of the day?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think Benson really does a good job leading by example. He's had some losses. But he comes in the next week and he's working just as hard. And if you're in his way, he'll try to run you over. So, he leads by example and we all follow. The room's tough. We've had a couple spurts where, we've lost a couple in a row and things like that. And we said, hey, let's buckle down again. Let's get rolling and get back to our game and start getting these wins again. So, it's been a good year for us. So, whatever happens, we just always try to take care of business on our end. We don't worry too much about what our opponents are doing, or we don't get caught up in everything else. We just come in every day and, get our nose to the grindstone, really.
Have you watched much tape on Drew, and who's been helping you prep for tape to get ready for him? Because you're talking about, coming in there and grinding every day, but you got to have a purpose to grinding. You can't just grind for grind's sake. You got to do it to be getting better, specifically in MMA now, to get ready for the next opponent. So if there's a specific task or a specific style that Drew has, you've obviously got to get ready for it. So have you been watching a lot of tape on Drew, and who's been helping you to get ready for that?
Yeah, I don't watch a ton of tape. I've seen him. Obviously, everybody knows him. He's been around for a while. He's a veteran. He's southpaw. We've had a guy fight him. Efren's fought him, so they've prepared for him. They've been. Are you there?
Yep, I'm here. Sorry, cut off for a second. You're fine.
Oh, yeah. No, so they've been through the scouting and things like that. So, of course I make adjustments along the way, but it's just worrying about my game most off. There are little things, the intricacies of a southpaw, or, certain tendencies that we pick up on that, of course we add in. So, it's going to be interesting for sure.
Scott, it's always great talking to you. I have one more question before I let you out of here, and this actually comes from fan mail. Sometimes I put out there, I'm getting ready to interview somebody who should, okay, should we ask something? This one comes in from Danny Rubenstein. Did you have to put yourself on suicide watch when Tennessee got beat by OU this year in football? Did you?
No, actually, no. Tennessee was up by halftime, and yeah, Rubenstein was already making excuses, talking about how bad Oklahoma was. So, but.
Yeah, I was. You may not know this, but I went to OU, but years before Danny did. So when I kept my mouth shut, I was going to start talking a little bit, but I was following everybody on Twitter and following the back and forth, and I kept my mouth shut. Come halftime, I was like, man, OU is just not. We're just not in this game. We don't have a shot at all, and we ended up pulling out the win anyway. It was good to see them come from behind, but I was thinking about, okay, if the roles reversed, I'd probably be kicking my TV screen in. Like, there's just no way that game should have went the way that game went.
Yeah, man, I was in the stadium, and it's the loudest, and I've been to quite a few Tennessee games now, and it was the loudest I've ever heard any stadium. They said it was like a rock concert as far as decibel levels, so it was a cool game to be at. I wish we could have pulled it out, though, but I think next time will be a different story.
That's awesome. I'm glad. Thanks for letting me rib you about it. It's awesome that there are other guys out there that are really into college football. It's tough to find. Actually, here in Hawaii, everybody's into football. It's like that's the sport that everybody really follows, and then of course, they follow University of Hawaii, but they're not very good in football. They're not that great in basketball. Volleyball is kind of a bad year for them. So it's like, who are you really going to follow? So you kind of get beat up a little bit trying to do anything. But everybody here is an MMA fan by leaps and bounds. It's a huge MMA state.
I hear, the Tennessee Titans are, of course, my team too. Mariota. I met Mariota. He's a real nice guy, and supposedly everybody loves him in Hawaii.
He's huge name out here, and they follow him. Like, you might even like the team, but they will follow the Titans just to follow him because they want to see what he's doing. They want to see. It's very small town out here, so everybody wants to know what the local boy is doing. That's why Shane Victorino, who everybody knows from MMA, is friends with Lorenzo and Frank Trigg, and a huge fan of MMA. But the Flying Hawaiian has played baseball for a long time, but everybody follows him because they want to know what's the local boy doing. Like, what's he done? Like, what's he doing this week? They might like the team he's on. They got to follow, and that's great. Yeah, I love. I actually do a lot of reporting on the Titans because Mariota's on the team, so it's it's good. It's great seeing a local boy go out there and make good. It really is. So, Scott, thanks so much, man. I appreciate you going to the lab too to do the interview. I know the internet's sketchy at the house. I know it's an extra drive for you. I appreciate you taking the time out to making sure that everything went right. Good luck, man, and have fun. This is going to be a great fight for me, and for me, of course, it's going to be even more fun because I'm actually going to be about, depending on where they put me, maybe 50 rows back, but hopefully I'll be within 5 rows or so to be able to watch this fight.
Hey, man, I appreciate it as always. Thanks for the time, and hopefully we'll see you after the fight for sure.
Yeah, Danny's already hit me up. He wants to try to hook up right after the fight. Maybe I'm not sure yet what my plans are, but I think it might be a possibility. But at least I'll be able to buy you one victory beer.
Hell yeah!
All right, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks.
Bye
man.
now.